So students, as you all know that we have discussed regarding total fixed cost, total variable cost, total cost, average fixed cost, average variable cost, average total cost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six cost concepts we have already discussed. We have discussed their behavior in the short run. We have discussed what are the various reasons behind the shapes, their reasons behind their different shapes. Now the last cost concept that is left, that is your marginal cost. It's very important. It is very important, and it is one of the very important part of your chapter. Although it is not that much lengthy, there is only one cost curve that we have to see, but it has different kinds of relationship with the other cost concepts. That is why it is very important to understand the concept of marginal cost. It is very important to understand the concept of marginal cost. All right. So as far as marginal cost is concerned, we have done various marginal concepts before also. We have done marginal utility, we have done marginal product. So I hope you all must be clear with the concepts of marginal. That what do we mean by marginal? Marginal shows something, marginal shows what happens to the value of a total when one more unit or thing has been changed. Like in your total utility, in your marginal utility, what was marginal utility showing? Marginal utility was showing that when the consumer was consuming one more additional unit of commodity, then how much additional satisfaction, that is how much additional total utility he was getting. Then coming on to the marginal product, what it was showing? It was showing that when the entrepreneur, when the employer was employing one more labor, okay, when the entrepreneur was employing one more labor, then how much a total product was changing. All right. Likewise, your marginal cost, it will show that when one more unit is produced by the producer, one more unit of output is produced, then how much our cost is changing. That is why it is written by delta C upon delta Q. That means the change in quantity, I can write over here, the change when one more unit is changed, then how much cost is changed, or how much addition is there in the total cost. That is your marginal cost. Alright, the addition made to the total cost when one more output is produced. Alright, this is the meaning of marginal cost. Now coming on to the various relationships of marginal cost with the other cost curves. First thing I've told you that how can we calculate marginal cost? We can simply calculate marginal cost by taking change in total cost upon change in output. Alright, change in total cost upon change in output. Here your total cost has been given in the third column. In the third column, your total cost has been given, and if I want to calculate the marginal cost over here, what I will do, I will take change in total cost and divide it by change in output. So change in total cost is equals to 40 over here, and the change in output is equals to 1 over here. So I will divide 40 by 1. So when I divide 40 by 1, I will get 40. Then again, in the next step, if I see the change in marginal cost over here, then the difference between your, what is the change in, it is equals to 36, and again my output is increasing by 1 unit. Okay, so again my marginal cost will become 36. Likewise, when you will see, okay, when you will divide change in total cost by the change in output, will be deriving our marginal costs. This is the first way to calculate the marginal cost. Alright. This is the first way. What is the second way? How can we calculate marginal cost? Simply, since we are talking about the addition of only one more output and we are dividing the change in TC by 1, every time we are dividing change in total cost by 1, thus the change will be similar, because whenever any value is divided by 1, it gives you the same value, because the difference between this, it is equals to 26, then here it is equals to 30, then here it is equals to 38, then here it is equals to 64. So the other way is to subtract the total cost with its preceding total cost. Okay, ये नीचे वाले total cost को जब हम ऊपर वाले total cost से minus करते हैं, then also we can calculate our marginal cost. So the second way of calculating marginal cost is to subtract TCn minus TCn minus 1. This is your TCn. n minus 1 means the value that is preceding, उसके ऊपर वाली value, उसके पहले वाली value. So this is the other way that we can determine our marginal cost. Now coming on to there are other ways also to determine the marginal cost, but for understanding that other concept, we have to apply what was the total fixed cost. Okay, we all know that total fixed cost, it remains constant in the short run. That means it is not changing. And which cost is changing? Only total variable cost is changing. All right, and the change in total cost is equal to the change in TVC. This is also I have told you. Why? Because your total fixed cost is always remains constant. That means whatever change comes in total cost, that change equates to the change in total variable cost. All right, whatever change, we can write it over here, that whatever change is there in TVC, it is equals to the change in TC as your TFC is constant. This I have already told you. That means जितना भी TC में change हो रहा है, it is due to TVC, not TFC, because TFC remains constant. That means change in TC and change in TVC are equal. So if I'm saying change in TC and change in TVC are equal, then we can calculate our marginal cost by just taking change in TVC upon change in output, or TVC n minus TVC n minus 1. Okay, we can calculate the marginal cost with the help of total variable cost as well, because the marginal cost is your marginal cost is independent of total fixed cost. Write this somewhere. Marginal cost is independent of total fixed cost. Why it is independent of total fixed cost? Because marginal cost talks about the change. It is talking about that how much my cost is changing due to the change in output. All right. And since the total fixed cost is constant, so it will have no effect on the marginal cost. What will have effect on the cost? That is your total variable cost, or you can say total cost, because only total variable cost is changing and your change in total variable cost is equals to total cost. Write it somewhere that marginal cost is independent of TFC. Okay, because TFC is constant in the short run. So in the third way, we can derive the marginal cost by just delta TVC upon delta output, or simply TVC n minus TVC n minus 1. Okay, you all can apply all the formulas, all the 4 formulas, and you will get the same values. We have applied these 2 formulas. Now let us see if we take change in TVC upon output, are we able to get the same formula? See what is change in TVC over here? It is equals to 40, and here change in output is 1. See, I have got 40 again. I have got 40 again. Hello, guess what happened? हाँ, आज तो लॉकडाउन है तो स्कूल बंद रहेगा. मंडे को यू कैन कम. तुम कहाँ से आई हो? ओके, तो आज तो बंद रहता है बेटा, मैं बंद यस नहीं बोला हूँ। अच्छा चलो सॉरी, ठीक है। नहीं तो अंदर कोई नहीं होगा ना। हाँ तो अंदर कोई नहीं होगा, ठीक है। हाँ बेटा मंडे को आना, ठीक। All right. So change in TVC upon change in output. Again, I have got 40. Now see from here, change in TVC, it is equals to 36. 36 divided by 1. Again, I will get 36. Then again, change in TVC. 102 minus 76, it would be equals to 26 only. Alright, so I will get the same marginal cost whether I apply any of the four formulas. Alright, so that is why it was very important when you are answering the numerical questions on this topic, then it is very important to to be very clear with all the existing formulas. Alright, I hope you have understood that why marginal cost is independent of your total fixed cost, because marginal cost talks about the change in total cost, and change in total cost only happens because of the change in TVC. TFC is not contributing any changes in the total cost. Alright, now coming on to the shape of the marginal cost. First of all, see the values. When you see the values, you will be clear with the shape. The value of marginal cost is falling first at the initial output 40, 36, 26, 30. It becomes minimum at 30 and again starts increasing 38, 64. And again the shape of the marginal cost will be a U shape. Alright, it will be a U shape. So let us draw the marginal cost curve. Okay, so let us draw the marginal cost curve now. I will take the two axes. This is my x-axis. This is my origin. This is my y-axis. Here I will take marginal cost. Here I will take output. And I have told you the shape of the marginal cost will be a U-shaped curve. And where the marginal cost is minimum, this is your optimum capacity level at point A. It is optimum capacity level. It is U-shape. And the reason behind its U-shape is same. That is your law of variable proportion. At the initial stages, when more variable factors are employed, the productivity increases and the marginal cost falls due to the increasing returns to factor. Okay, due to increasing returns to a factor, the marginal cost falls, and eventually what happens, when more and more labor is employed on the given fixed factors, the law of diminishing returns, that is diminishing returns to factor, starts operating and the marginal cost starts increasing. So diminishing returns to a factor. Okay, so the reason behind the shape of TVC, TC, AVC, AC, your marginal cost, it's all law of variable proportion. So same reason for all the shapes of TVC, TC, average cost, average variable cost, and marginal cost. Okay, so this is how you can draw the marginal cost. Now the last concept of this marginal of the cost is that we have to see the relationship between the average cost and the marginal cost. All right, we have to see the relationship between the You have to see the relationship between the average cost and the marginal cost. We will draw the average total cost over here only. Okay. Average total cost. I will take one output level over here. Okay. And we can simply state three relationships from this diagram. The first relationship is that when marginal cost is less than average total cost, my average total cost is falling. Okay, you can see that when below this Q1 point, your marginal cost is less than your average total cost, because your average total cost curve is lying above the marginal cost curve. That means your average cost is greater than the marginal cost, or you can say that your marginal cost is less than the average cost. That means when the marginal cost is less than the average total cost, the average total cost will fall. See, it is falling. Alright. Then second relationship, when, see beyond this point, beyond Q1, any point beyond Q1, for example, I am taking any point over here. Here, my marginal cost is more than average total cost, because marginal cost is lying above the average total cost. So, when marginal cost is greater than average total cost, then my average total cost is rising. Average total cost is rising. And then third point, when marginal cost is equals to average total cost, when marginal cost is equals to average total cost, then my average total cost is constant. You can see that average total cost is constant over here when the marginal cost is cutting them. Remember one thing, the marginal cost will cut the average total cost at its minimum point. जो average total cost का सबसे minimum point होगा, वहीं पर से marginal cost उसे cut करेगी. इसीलिए I always tell कि पहले marginal cost कर्व बना लो, उसके बाद average total cost कर्व बनाना शुरू करो, और जैसे ही average total cost कर्व मार्जिनल कॉस्ट को कट करे, उसको इंक्रीज करना शुरू कर दो. इसके बाद ये डिक्रीज नहीं होना चाहिए जैसे ये एमसी को कट करे. इट शुड स्टार्ट इंक्रीजिंग, तभी तुम्हें एटीसी के मिनिमम पॉइंट पे मार्जिनल कॉस्ट कट करता हुआ मिलेगा. ऑलराइट, सो रिमेंबर दीज थिंग्स. एंड वी कैन शो एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट आल्सो इन द सेम डायग्राम. उसमें रिलेशनशिप वी डू नॉट हैव टू स्टडी, बट वी कैन जस्ट शो द एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट आल्सो. It will also cut the marginal cost will cut the minimum point of average variable cost. चाहे average variable cost हो चाहे average total cost हो, उनके minimum point पे ही marginal cost cut करेगी. Remember this always. इसमें students बहुत गलती करते हैं. Alright. So with this we are finished with the cost part of this chapter. Alright. We are only left with the revenue now and the numericals based upon the cost.